Bella zio, everybody! Yesterday, I received a comment on a video, on one of my videos on YouTube, saying and accusing me that I use artificial intelligence to write my show notes to present my videos here on YouTube. Show notes or description or whatever you want. And the answer is, fuck yes! And there are a lot of reasons. But the first thing that comes to my mind is that, Alex, you're a very smart person. Why do you use artificial intelligence instead of use your own intellect? The reason is that I'm not so smart, because if I was smart, I would be very rich and I would be here in my very cheap car trying to run toward a meeting with one of my worst clients. They don't pay me enough to support them, to have this burden on my back. They continue insisting that they pay me too much. And that they had to be grateful to them, because they give me a lot of work and visibility. It's a little romance, but it's not so far from the truth. The main reason I use artificial intelligence for writing description and show notes are mainly three. First, I am lazy. I'm a very lazy person, and that's the reason I'm a software developer. Software developers are very lazy people, and they use the machine to produce something because they don't want to do them by their own. A friend of mine, Sergio, always says that I take 5 hours to develop a software to do something that it will take me 5 minutes to do if I will do this manually. And that's right, but he never considered the context switch, the moment in which I have to change my focus from one task to the other task. And then the sum of the all 5 minutes, I don't know if it become 5 hours, but trying to develop stuff and inventing things is something that keeps me younger. And so that's okay for me. Reason number two, I have to test my own software. So if I developed a software that uses artificial intelligence to produce YouTube description, then I want to test and use it directly and in first person. If there's something that I can tweak or adjust or make better, and directly and in person, that's the goal. I think that AI metadata inside Transcriber is one of the most important things I ever produce. It's quite used, but not as much as I wanted, because the main reason is that the people have to insert their own OpenAI API key. So they have to register to OpenAI, put some $10 in OpenAI hands and start prompting. So I think that in the midterm future, I will have to produce a new kind of software layer that allows me to create stuff for them and to be paid per use. Reason number three is the most important one. When I wrote show notes and a YouTube description for my podcast and YouTube videos, I tried to be clear, maybe funny, and very descriptive of what I was presenting to the users and showing to the watchers or to the listeners. It was okay, but it was never catchy. OpenAI has a lot of problems, a lot of limitations, but using this kind of prompt produce show note descriptions that are more in focus and more in line with everybody else is doing. That's the main reason, because I was never a clickbait person. Even if I work for marketing, I sell products for other people. It's quite difficult for me to sell my own stuff and to sell my own IPs and my own ideas and my own contents using a different eye, an artificial eye, to try to summarize the things in a way that can be more accessible and more compelling and more attractive to other people. Well, that's good. It's a win-win for me, because I don't have to do this by myself, and another win because I get more people involved. And if you think that this is a waste of time, or doing this the morning rant is a waste of time, well, I have to be honest. Each time I put a new video on YouTube, one or two people the same day buy one of my bundles. Buying one of my bundles is something that makes me a lot of richness, because if you buy me an app of mine, like such as Bitmart 2 or Bitmart Pro, you give me something like $10-20. But if you buy me a power bundle, you give me $60, and so it's a lot more. You save a lot of money because you get 17 or 18 apps all in once, and I get a lot of money selling you a lot of apps. Even if you will use 2 or 3 of them, you save the money, and you have a lot of stuff, a lot of utilities that can be used for what they are supposed to. So it's a win-win-win-win. Everybody wins. Okay, I think that this is a follow-up video. So this is the maximum amount of time that I must use to answer to someone who asked me one question. So thanks, Chris, for asking me this question or accusing me to use artificial intelligence. I am not ashamed. I use a lot of artificial intelligence to produce my contents, to help me producing contents. I don't think, oh, this is the future. People using artificial intelligence will take the jobs, or people who will refuse to use the artificial intelligence. I don't know if this is true. I think that if I can save some time, still continue to get control on the things that I produce and the content that I produce, or the text that I send to my clients, I'm okay with it. Thank you for watching me. I'm Alex Arcuglia, and this is The Morning Rant, the show in which I talk about my life as a TV commercial director and software developer while I telecommute from my home to the office. Now I must have to go to this meeting discussing 5 upcoming TV commercials, 2 in Italy, 1 in Greece, 1 in Poland, and 1 in Hungary. So it will be a very, very, very tough morning. But for dinner, me and my colleague Antonella, we will go and have a sushi. And I love sushi! Ciao!